SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
Toyota Brookhaven services all makes and models. That could be why we were voted best service department the past 2 years. Come see why. Exit 40 Brookhaven or online at ToyotaBrookhaven.com. Great service, great savings. At Toyota Brookhaven, we deliver.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar.
It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, it's time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Always so grateful for you tuning in into my 8th year. I know I sound like a broken record, but today it's more like a triple platinum record because I'm back on the horn, part 2 with an incredible Mississippi artist, just stretching the boundaries as always as Mississippi artists do. Before we get there, Superior Catfish stretching their pond for you to have it delivered to your home. You can go to store.superiorcatfish.com and superiorcatfish.com for all your needs there. Great folks over there in Macon, Mississippi. And visit Mississippi.org. Got a big old smile on its face. I get to say that every once in a while when I have a Mississippi singer-songwriter doing great things and staying at home and doing it from Mississippi soul. So there you go. Let's get back to it, part 2. He hails from near Jackson, Mississippi, what we call the city with soul, and brings a sultry blues-influenced sound to this modern pop scene. I mean, just listening to him the other day again just was like, man, he's dang fantastic. He's a talented singer-songwriter, like we said, in the modern pop scene. You know, not necessarily the thing in Mississippi when you're born and raised here. Obviously influenced by so many different genres of music that changed the world forever. Reminiscent a little bit to Ed Sheeran and John Mayer. But like I said, he's got that Mississippi thing built inside. He blends soft rock melodies with rich bluesy undertones. His performances they're a true experience, using a loop station to carefully layer tracks in real time. I've got a loop station behind me, like I said, and it's never been plugged in because that's just too much for me. I can't do it. Showcasing his lead guitar skills, really great lead guitar player, captivates audiences, especially with that voice of his. It's his own. His career journey took off during his college years, where he built a loyal following by performing 4 to 5 hour sets down in Stark, Vegas, Mississippi. His dedication and talent has led him to open up for rock and roll legends, perform alongside Grammy winners, and earn a big spot on American Idol, where Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan praised his artistry. In 2019, he signed with a label as soon after released his 14-track album, Souvenir. So good. I want everybody at a commercial break to go download it, to go stream it. Souvenir by today's guest, Seth Power. Hey, Seth.
How's it going, Steve? Thanks for that info, man.
You know, everybody thinks we're back to back, but this has been about a week and a half. You're under the weather a little bit. I just got through recovering, where I think I was coughing for a month. I hope you get to feeling better.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got 2 kids in daycare, so it's
oh yeah,
like the Matrix out here dodging.
Yeah, they grow it. They grow the stuff like a walking. Is it auger plates? Whatever it was in chemistry days, and it just floats around the house. You can't get near them. All right, so I want to just jump back into where I feel I left off yesterday. I didn't get to ask you this question. You know, I've got a lot of pro athlete friends. You do too. I've spent a lot of time. I'm a lot older than you, so I spent a lot of time with them, and they all had a little bit of trouble mentally with leaving the thing that they had worked so hard on. Now, I know your football career ended shortly at Mississippi State. I never asked you, how did you feel when that happened? Especially, You were a 3-sport athlete. You had all these D1 offers for 3 sports, which is unheard of in this day and age, especially now with your age group, somewhere where you have to choose something and just focus in on. You were able to have a successful career in 3 sports. That's crazy to me. But let's go back. Mississippi State, you get hurt. Where are you mentally?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, I'll say that was, playing football, growing up playing football. I didn't start till I was in 7th grade. So football was still kind of relatively new for me. It's not like I played City League starting at, 6, 7 years old. Like
Yeah.
So there was still a lot of freshness to the sport, and I still really loved it and enjoyed it. At the same time, obviously, you go out there and you get hit a lot, you get beat up a lot. So I'd had concussions, I'd had injuries, things like that, but none of it was ever that big of a deal, in my opinion. That the concussion that ultimately sidelined me was definitely different. It was like much, much different than anything I'd experienced before. I think I mentioned last time, but like I got hit in the back of the head, so I suffered some vision loss, I suffered memory loss.
Yeah.
And it was really the first time, I think, at 19 years old that I ever felt vulnerable. Like I felt like I wasn't made of steel. And so it was weeks and weeks of symptoms, night sweats, kind of having these moments in class where I'd sort of like come to and realize that I didn't know what had happened over the last like 20 minutes or so. I was just kind of zoned out.
My goodness.
Yeah, my grades were terrible, man. I had a horrible semester that semester.
Yeah.
And it was just the first time that I felt like, oh, I'm not invincible, and I could actually, if I keep doing this for years, I'm going to lose something in the process.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned last time that, I was a good player, but I didn't at the time think that I had NFL potential. So for me, it was a question of, do I want to do this and like experience it? Because I knew it was going to be an incredible experience playing football at that level. Or do I want to think more about my future and make choices based on, decades and not a couple years?
Yeah.
And after a lot of time talking to friends and family and a lot of prayer and stuff like that, I ultimately went to the coaches and just told them that I don't think I can do this because, how many more of those can I actually take? I'm not really sure, and so it was really, really hard. I'd never really quit anything before. I mean, that was another that the only thing that I'd ever stepped away from sports-wise was track, and that was so I could make room for other sports.
Yeah, you didn't have time. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't even, not to excel in everything. I mean, it's just, all right. Okay, so I got you. I understand that. But once you came out of that semester, and then you'd made the decision, any hindsight of going like and seeing your friends on the field and, some of your teammates when it became the next season, did it start to, do you miss it?
Yeah, I did. Even as hard as it was, there was a part of me that was just, I mean, to be honest, I considered going back. I didn't know, like, never took that to the point where I even approached the coaches. So it's possible that they may have said, you can't come back, it's too far gone now. But it was really hard because, you bleed with these people, it's like, there's a certain type of brotherhood that gets formed in those scenarios. Sure. Don't really get anywhere outside of more intense places like the military and stuff like that, right? So it's it was definitely really, really difficult to know that the guys I'd gotten so close with were still out there, still going every single day, and it kind of felt it was hard. It was really hard, but I think I mentioned last time what was really interesting about the process is that my first weekend back on campus that fall as a sophomore, because it all happened my freshman year in the spring, but that first weekend back on campus, we went to the Cotton District and we went to, a bar there, and the musician that was supposed to show up didn't show up. A girl that I knew was dating the owner of the bar, and she saw me in the crowd and she came up to me and she was like, "Hey, we got a no-show. Can you play like a 2-hour set?" And I'd never played a 2-hour set before. I played a lot of 30-minute sets. I'd played, a lot of open mics and stuff like that, but I never actually.
You don't have your loop station at this point, right?
No, I kind of grew into that.
Because you could have made 2 hours. You could have stretched 2 hours out for days with your loop station. But now this is just you organic.
It's just me with the guitar. And so, I said, yeah, sure. And I went in and I sat down and I played, and, it was like pretty much all covers at that point. I wasn't really sharing original music yet because I didn't believe that the original music that I had was all that good. And so I just started playing, and it was just, I mean, you know how it is. It was fun. It was just people were hooting and hollering. I was playing songs people knew. People were coming up and buying me drinks. And I thought, and at the end of it, they pay me, and I made a bunch of tips, and I was like, wow, this is incredible.
That whole pay me part, don't jump up and down over it. A little different now than it was. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like it was like with the child labor laws that were broken with us when we were in college. I mean, we'd play for anything, right?
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break real quick because we got to go. I love hearing all of that. I still have some other questions sports-wise, and I promise you I'm going to get back to your incredible melodic sense, which is, to me, your gift, one of your really great gifts. You got a lot of them. Superior Catfish is a gift for you. Go to store.superiorcatfish.com. It's delivered to your door. It'll come straight to Seth. Seth Power is my guest today, and Visit Mississippi.org is shining another wonderful, true testament of hanging around Mississippi, growing up here, and just soaking in all that art form. We'll be right back. I'm Steve Azar.
I said 3 Mississippi to this land called home. I'll bleed Mississippi till I'm dead and gone. Won't you carry on? I'll carry on. Mississippi, Mississippi. Mississippi.
There's a ton of content from SuperTalk Mississippi on our new YouTube channel. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi on YouTube or go to supertalk.fm/YouTube. Be sure and subscribe for free to get the latest scoop on what's happening in Mississippi news, politics, sports, and the good things happening here in the state.
Water, and we're into.
I got a fevered Seth Power with me today, and he is, like he always does, he's just strapping the old helmet on and just going with it because he didn't want to miss today, and I appreciate him, and I'm going to get him on and off, and so he can recover back as fast as I can. But before we go, Superior Catfish could be the cure for Seth. Go to superiorcatfish.com. There's catfish, there's Superior Catfish, and visit Mississippi.org. Been with me since the start of this radio show. Love those guys over there. Blessed to have them, and we're celebrating music, man. This is how the economy rolls. We've really figured it out over the last, say, 25 years, and we're grateful Seth never left like I did. I'm sorry, I left, but Seth didn't, and he's making music. But I came back. Okay, I came back. All right, so Seth, we're talking these sports things. So at any point did you go, I had these other two sports, my head will be fine. I'm not going to get hit like that. Did you think about going back to one of the other two sports?
I did, actually. That's really funny that you mentioned that, because I kind of forgot about that. There was about a semester where I considered trying to walk onto the baseball team at State.
See, this is if I was your dad right now, this is what I want to hear. I'm a little upset at you right now. I'm trying to figure out your parents, what they were going through mentally, because this is a parent's dream to watch their kids excel at this level. And so what I'm really trying to do is really make you feel bad. So come on. So tell me about the other two. You thought baseball, not soccer, right?
Yeah, well, they don't actually have Division I in soccer.
How's that possible?
Yeah, it's something about they have to have an equal number of women's and men's sports.
But the girls they rock there.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And so they have an official program, but the SEC men's, there's actually not official.
Never heard of anything like this.
Yeah, it's strange. If that had been the case, I probably would have considered that, because my offers for soccer were better than they were for football. I mean, I could have gone to Ohio State or Clemson or some of those schools.
Oh, were you a scoring machine?
No, I was actually a defender. I was a center back.
Oh,
so
wow. See, I don't even know what that means, because we didn't have soccer in our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have it. Hey, listen, Seth, I was coaching our kids, my oldest son's soccer team, and I decided just to do it. And I had no idea what any rules were in Nashville. So I'd have the guy, I was thinking, like, man, I'm going to run a little pick play. And so when we'd throw the ball in, right, I had somebody set up to screen it, and they were going, you can't do that. And I was like, wait, I don't understand. It's working. And anyway, so I was trying to figure out how to do pick and rolls and all sorts. Anyway, but okay, so baseball, I mean, like, you're at Mississippi State, incredible program.
Incredible, yeah.
What kept you from not playing?
I think it was just, I think part of it, to be honest, was I felt like I just kind of needed a break. And it kind of wanted a break, kind of wanted to just have a normal sort of college, like social experience.
There's nothing normal about you to having all these three sports. I'm still not two sports. I get it, but not three.
Yeah.
There's something really wrong in a right way about you, if I can say that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know I don't know. I mean, I just, for me, it was just like, I just loved to play. It's the same reason I play music, right? It's like you do. It's like, you just love to play. Like my dad was an athlete. He was a college wrestler.
Wow.
God bless her soul, is not a very coordinated person. He does a lot of yoga and stuff like that, but like you put her out on a sports field, it's not really her place. So, but yeah, I don't really know, and I'm 6'2", 6'3" with shoes on. My dad's 5'8", like I don't really know where some of the height came from or where some of it came from, but it's like we got these gene pools. It's like,
somewhere in there
come along, and kind of come together. But yeah, for me, it was just it all kind of came from a place of like, I just love to play. Like, it's just fun. I just enjoyed the just going out there and having fun. I also am like insanely competitive, and all of my close friends are all the same way. So we just, we'd be out in the backyard, and it was, how many shots can you make, basketball goal. We sat there for like 6 hours to see.
We did it. See, your class, was it your class? So when we grew up, smaller school, right? Then you went to Brandon, and you had Brandon, known for quarterbacks, obviously what's been going on. But with that said, we were in the backyard all night. I'm telling you, we had to draw straws. I think I could be making this up, but this is my recollection that all the other siblings, my other four, wanted a pool, and somehow I was able to get the basketball court instead of the pool.
Nice.
And when they did the concrete, they didn't it was like 3 inches too short. And those 3 inches with a Mikasa rubber ball were monumental. You know what I mean? Like, you could get up there and you thought you were, really dunking, but it was 3 inches short, but it was awesome, So, but we had a very unique athletic class, the class above us, the class below us, not so much. And so we were like that. And I really believe being in that class helped me really survive all the letdowns. I had so many letdowns looking back. You forget them unless you start conjuring them up, and I don't dwell on them. But when you had these letdowns, sometimes it would cost you a year at a time in my day. So you get this big development deal from a label, and you'd go in and you screw up and you wouldn't make your honest record because you had some big producer in there wanting to make his record. So now let's start talking music. Let's get back to that. Have you ever been in a situation, and when you signed your record deal, did you have a producer that came in and started jacking with your sound a little bit and your thought process? Because you have a very unique thing. Have you had anybody get in the way of you being you?
I wouldn't. I think I think the answer to that is kind of complex, as you can imagine. It's
the Mississippi Minute is supposed to be complex.
Yeah, it's. I would say the answer is more no than yes. But at the same time, as you know, when you start bringing more people into the fold, everybody has an opinion and they have an idea of what they think will work, right? And then, like, if that's the person who's writing the check and they're telling you, hey, I think this, and this, and this, as far as what you're doing, would work a lot better than this, and this. Some of these things, some of these songs that I've heard are good, but I think that if we went more in this direction, that we'd probably be able to land this thing and that thing, and so sometimes it's kind of this indirect sort of pressure to go, well, the people on the team are telling me that they see the opportunities in this direction, whereas maybe my innate feeling is that the music that needs to be made is more over here and in this space, right?
Did you compromise?
I think I did. I think I compromised. In the beginning, I think I compromised myself in some ways because there was this desire to, quote unquote, make it. And it was, I think that was in my head.
That gets in the way.
Yeah.
But it's what you want. Cause you were a very focused kid growing up that wanted to win. And that's the same thing in our business, man. You want to win, right? And you want to get on stage, you want to blow everybody off the stage. It's just how we're built, And it's awesome when you get to, but it's not like you're focused on blowing somebody off stage. You're focused on being great yourself and feeling that energy. But I I continue, but I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're making me think about a lot of things as well. And the word compromise, it can be, there's degrees of it, and yeah, huh.
Yeah, I think there is. I think it's a spectrum. I think it can happen slowly, right? Where and there's this other thing, and I'll be honest, there were times when I would butt heads with people that, my kind of creative partners in crime, because when you get a lot of people like you were saying, you get people in the room who are also passionate about the music, but they have their own ideas about, I think the bridge should sound like this. I think that the chorus should go here instead of there. And you know how it can be sometimes. You want to be collaborative. You want to create with the people that you have in the room, and you want to kind of try to find the best ideas. But if there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians, then it's like turns to a situation where suddenly I feel like I'm kind of following your vision for the song, like what you're talking about.
You always have to be the one in the driver's seat. You can have people, you're one guy in the passenger seat saying, "Oh, you missed that turn, Seth." And so usually the cheap seats in the back are running their mouth. "I want a burger. Get me this. Get me that." Yeah. Well, you get to do that all the time now with your kids, which is a different thing. Let's take a quick break. Seth Power, my guest. Please stream his records. He's insane. And his album Souvenir, 14 tracks, will take you on a trip. Very, very unique. His voice melodically is just that special. You got to trust me. Visit Mississippi.org. Plan a road trip to your Mississippi. And, SuperiorCatfish.com, waiting for you. Go to store.superiorcatfish.com. It'll change your world. You can also go to Piggly Wiggly in Louisville, Ocean Fresh in Tupelo, Tim's in Macon, where it's produced, Piggly Wiggly, in Union, Octibaha County Co-op, Clay County Co-op. I'm Steve Azar. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
We're in cold water, and I shall believe.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
There's a ton of content from SuperTalk Mississippi on our new YouTube channel. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi on YouTube or go to supertalk.fm/YouTube. Be sure and subscribe for free to get the latest scoop on what's happening in Mississippi news, politics, sports, and the good things happening here in the state.
Check one. Where's all my volume?
In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Rolling into a Mississippi Minute. Sorry about that. Taking a swallow of coffee. Visit Mississippi.org. Always ready for your road trip. Be proud of your Mississippi, and SuperiorCatfish.com. Man, I'm telling you, it is the best. Go check them out. There's catfish and there's Superior Catfish. And where is it made? Mississippi, like today's guest, singer-songwriter, really amazing artist, Seth Power. Gotten to know him from yesterday to today. First conversations we've had, I feel like I've known him since I was 4, and that means he would have been negative probably 30. Something like that. I don't know. So give or take. But no, Seth, I love it. You talked about your genetic pool and your 6'2", 6'3" with shoes on. I'm pretty sure, I don't have proof, but my son really, really looks like Bob Dylan, and his hair is Bob Dylan's. And I know when I was on the road in my bus, Bob Dylan was playing a show in Nashville at some point. I've been thinking about sending him a bill. You know what I mean? For 20, how many years? No, but we were a little upset that he's in the film business, but he decided not to act, and he's a director, screenplay writer. and a colorist by day for film, but we were a little upset he didn't get to play Dylan, because it was always the thought that he literally looks more like Dylan than Timothy did. All right, so let's dig into I want to understand your inspiration behind Souvenir. I think we touched on it a little bit. Obviously, COVID, you're getting splashed into that, and you want to get on a roll, and all this is going on. Souvenir, was there a focus track that you look back that was the most important track, the one that said it all, that maybe was the glue to the rest of them? Not necessarily Souvenir. Was there another track?
It's kind of tough to answer, I think, but I think ultimately what Souvenir was for me was a discovery process of trying to figure out what the next. It was two things, right? It was sort of an ending point to the last several years, and me sort of processing a lot of things that had happened growing up, like in my youth. I had a great childhood, but like a lot of people, college was a very kind of tumultuous time, right? It's like a lot of self-discovery thing. A lot of the identity pillars that I had around myself started to kind of fade away, because being an athlete was sort of central to who I thought that I was. And then when I started away from that, it kind of left this huge gap, and it started to give me some, it became difficult to understand at that point, like, who am I really? And I actually wrote a song about that was on an EP in, like, I think 2017 or something. And it was literally called Who, but like the song, the whole chorus is, who am I? I'm not sure. And sometimes I worry, I don't care. And that was kind of like a really good approximation of how I felt at the time, where I was like asking these sort of existential questions, and at the same time not having an answer. And at the same time dealing with this sort of defense mechanism that I had in place of being sort of apathetic to the answer, right? Which I think is what a lot of us do, is the whole, I don't really care what people think, and I don't really care about this or that, I think is a defense mechanism, because I think in a lot of times we really do care a lot.
Sure.
But we don't actually know what the answer is. And that puts us in this sort of paradoxical place where it's like, you want the answer, but you can't get it. So as a defense mechanism, you say, I don't care what it actually is. And that was how I felt for a long time, as I was trying to kind of figure out, am I going to pursue music like full tilt? Am I going to really do this? Am I going to go into we live in Mississippi, which is this incredible place with all these creative people, but at the same time, most people go down the more traditional paths, right? So all my friends they're going to go and be accountants, and
sure.
And so there's always this kind of tug and pull feeling of, am I going to go out and just try to be a trailblazer, or am I going to go this other direction where most other people are going? And even though I've always kind of done my own thing in that respect, it doesn't change the fact that there was a crossroads moment for me that was, it was just difficult, right? It's just, I think every person goes.
Was the question, can I do this? I mean, like, did you ever, because you got to make that, especially were you married when you made that decision, or was your wife your girlfriend yet?
No. We didn't meet till I was 22.
Okay. So you're making that decision before. I went through thought process of, man, it's pretty gravelly and things are going great, but I kept going through moments. But once I decided I was in, 22, I knew that there was no looking back. But it doesn't mean that I saw roadblocks that looked impossible to get through.
Yeah.
Interesting that you're starting to make. Are you feeling better? By the way, you should be feeling better with this conversation.
I am feeling a little bit better.
Okay, there you go. I'll send you a bill. You can pay me in Skittles. That'll be good. All right. So that's interesting right there that you bring that up. I want to jump into your melodic sense. Do you spend time on the piano at all?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. Did we talk about that yesterday? Well, it's not yesterday; it was 2 weeks ago. But in the scheme of today and tomorrow, yes, it was. But we did talk about it. But your sense of melodic phrase is very, 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 very spectacular. I mean, you go to places. I think you're going to go here and you go there, and it's just beautiful. There's nothing necessarily obvious about it, but it sounds so hit worthy, and that's your thing. And I know that it's innate, and it's part of the journey and all this. But like, I'm gonna give you the perfect example. When I had you cranked up on my studio speakers here, because I wanted to listen to you like that, and my wife goes, "Who the heck is that?" And she didn't sound like she. I've never heard. I said, "That's Seth." And she goes, holy Moses, I'm so excited he's coming to Delta Soul. So yeah, I said, yeah, he's coming to Delta Soul. So, and by the way, Sony, my buddy Jim Sonafel from Hootie and the Blowfish, phenomenal songwriter, greatest drummer, just the most wonderful guy. He's finally an empty nester, and he's one of the two that hadn't made it here multiple years, but it's going to be his first year, so you'll love meeting him. You guys sort of remind me of each other, except he could be your dad as well. But anyway, all right, so let's talk about your melodic sense. What is it? What is it? Where does it come from? I mean, or do you ever think about it, or do you sometimes go, man, that's pretty sweet?
Yeah, I think it's a muscle, right? It's like just like songwriting is a muscle, The truth is, I think a lot of people think that when it comes to this stuff, it's like zeros and ones. It's like you either have it or you don't. But if you heard me whenever I was 13, 14, playing and singing,
all of us.
Yeah. I mean, it was bad. It was real bad. I was a whisper singer, and I was, like you couldn't really hear me. I was kind of breathing more than I was singing. And so, but I love like some of the people that really kind of, I gravitated to as a young singer-songwriter were people like John Mayer, people like Johnny Lang, which I don't know if you're familiar with Johnny Lang.
What do you mean? Am I familiar?
I figured, but like
son of a gun, man.
He's one of the most incredible, talented people.
I get that.
And they kind of sit on these crossroads between blues and soft rock, right? And so that was like where those early influences really came from. But they are just these incredible. When you're talking about melodies, like to me, their melodies are insane. Like Continuum, that record is one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best records.
It's one of the best records ever.
Yeah. And that was the record that made me really want to be a songwriter, really want to be an artist. Because I think that was the point that I realized that the power of music was greater than anything else. Like that, that was the realization was this is more powerful than anything else on the planet, and I want to spend my time cultivating this feeling that I get whenever I listen.
But what comes out of you, I got it. But what comes out of you, it comes out in your own way. That's the beauty in your influences, right? And growing up in Mississippi, and these obviously Johnny Lang, incredibly inspired by the Mississippi Delta. He had to be, and but how it comes out of you after you process it, right? And it runs through your heart, your soul, all the through your mind, through your mouth. It just comes out your own way, and that is the beauty of Seth Power. All right, let's take a quick break. Superior Catfish, waiting to have it. I want it on my plate tonight. I'm going to do it. Go to superiorcatfish.com. It's made and produced right where Seth got his bad concussion, about 30 minutes away in Macon, Mississippi from Starkville, and it ended his football career. But, man, did we get a gift in his beautiful songs and his songwriting, and he's never left. He's stayed on Mississippi soul. Go to superiorcatfish.com. Visit Mississippi.org, man. I can say it over and over, but it won't be long, and Seth will be on the blues trail. Or we're going to have to create a trail just for his genre because, like any Mississippi artist, he's found himself. It's a beautiful thing. I'm Steve Azar. Check out Seth Power right now into the break. We'll be right back.
I don't know why I'm laughing, 'cause it sure ain't funny. There's too much more at the end of the money.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music, Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
From the time you were a little girl, I watched you playing by the river, running through the cotton fields, growing up way too fast, lost in your own little world. You're only 15, going on 21, working on trying to skip on past. I see and know where you are. You feel all that fire in your heart. I hear that boy.
SuperiorCatfish.com. I mean, it stands on its own now after all this time I've had with these great folks in Macon, Mississippi. Love you guys. And visit Mississippi.org. Man, come on. As your music and culture ambassador of the hallowed ground we call Mississippi and author of your state song, I am forever grateful. So forever grateful. I'm actually going to ask Seth if this one project happens to join me on stage, but I'm not going to do it until it happens, so I won't spoil that, but it would be really cool, and I hope it's going to work out. He will be one of the artists I definitely want to be on stage with to do that. Seth Power's music is, and it's not with I'm saying apostrophe S, Seth Power, his music, it's really, you guys got to check it out, and you're going to be grateful that I turned you on to him. As part of this show's deal, I hope that you guys are going to take it seriously. He's a Mississippi native. He stayed in Mississippi, grew up in Brandon. That football program there is ridiculous, and was a great athlete and three-sport athlete, and he chose music for his career, and we're blessed for it. Seth, now you got to talk about moving forward from here. Mm-hmm. And you're an independent artist. Are you still an independent artist, or are you back with the label that you signed with?
Yeah, so we essentially have a partnership deal right now.
Yeah, okay.
And it's nice. It's like basically full creative control. They operate as the bank, as labels do.
I like a bank.
Yeah, I mean it's
Guarantee Bank. Guarantee Bank. Thank you. Go ahead. I'd do that.
It's a good setup. Yeah. So I've really enjoyed working with that team. They're old school record people. Like they've been doing this for a really long time. They had a lot of success back in the 90s, as when the music business was just absolutely insane. And now they're kind of at a point where it's more important for them to find and cultivate newer artists and newer talent than it is for them to try and have some global superstar, right? So it's really nice because that's incredibly hard to find. Like I don't know many people who have been lucky enough like I have to be able to find that.
Is that Toucan Cove Entertainment who you're still with?
Yeah.
Okay, and where are they out of?
So Chicago, basically.
Oh, great. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I love that. Have you gone there to record it all in the studios, maybe down in River North area?
No, I never have. I've gone up there to meet the team, and I think they were originally in Seattle and then they went to Chicago.
Okay.
But and I've and it's a smaller operation, and they have folks who work remotely and stuff like that. But no, I went up there and but I haven't recorded up in Chicago. I've recorded pretty much everything I've done has been either here in Mississippi or in Nashville. So a lot of the stuff I'm doing now is I'm going into Nashville, even though I'm still writing with Mississippi writers.
Your sound's not Nashville at all, but Nashville's not Nashville at all anymore. I got that. And so for you, who are you bringing in to play? And aren't you playing basically everything?
No, I pretty much all the guitars. I'll do myself. It's really actually at this point it kind of varies depending on what we're going for. I've Souvenir was recorded in a studio in Jackson. We had all kinds of musicians come in and contribute to that. My old guitar teacher, who's an incredible guy, I had him come in and play on some songs. Barry Leach, you probably know Barry. If not, you should look him up. We had a whole bunch of musicians. Some of them were young guys like me at the time, in our early 20s. Others were further along, that we were able to get in there. And it was just kind of to me, it was kind of a one-time experience. Now I do both. Like one of the songs I put out recently, we recorded in Monticello, Mississippi at Dipping Bat Studio, which is like
nice.
A really cool spot. And then sometimes, depending on what we're going for, we'll actually program a lot of the drums and stuff like that. And it'll give us like a more specific kind of sound that we want. And then I'll record the guitars and vocals, and we'll layer on all the other production.
I love that.
One of the things that people comment on a lot, especially with some of my newer stuff, is kind of a little bit of the grittiness in the vocal production. And they go, "How did you get that?" I'm like, "That's just the mic. I mean, that's just how the mic gets my voice. That's not anything that we're doing in post production."
Well, yeah, it captures certain things that go on from your throat and your voice, and it just, some of them don't get it, and some of them go, "Oh, I hear that. I'm going to show the world that." It's interesting how that takes those signals and from you, and just there it goes. Well, we run out of time, and you can go back and rest and get your fever feeling. You get your head feeling better and get that fever down. I appreciate you taking the time, especially not feeling great.
Oh man, I did not want to back out. It was, I don't know whatever this is, it's obviously manageable. It's just, again, I got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
I get it. Oh, you're just beginning. You're just getting started.
Right.
It's the gift that keeps on giving and giving and giving. And at some point they won't come home with anything.
Yeah.
Bless you. Well, we can't wait to have you on Delta Soul Soil the first time. And once you and your bride come here, you're gonna be a forever part of an institution. I promise you're gonna be family.
We're excited, man.
I love it.
Yeah, we're really excited. I can't wait. And thank you so much, Steve. It's really been great to get to know you.
Oh man, I've loved getting to know you.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Go get to feeling better. SuperiorCatfish.com standing by for you to make an order, and visit Mississippi.org. A road trip awaits. Our guest has been Seth Power Part 2. And man, what a great guy. What an incredible talent. Check his music out. I'm Steve Azar. I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.